Alright guys, another video from Dave Genvy, aka Satan, the devil, Lucifer, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's me. I'm the devil. Everyone knows it. As I keep saying, these videos are mostly now for my daughter because she's a bit out of the loop. Being a warrior caste like me, I've been out the loop. The alien, the Greys, who control humanity with psychic powers, can't control me. They can't control Dave Genvy, and it pisses them off. But it's actually a good thing for the Greys because I can be multiplied as a soldier in the stars. You know, I can have kids with lots of women to make soldiers that aren't controlled by psychic powers of other species. So as humanity goes into space, we're going to encounter aliens with psychic powers, of course we are. And humanity hasn't got any resistance to those psychic powers, although I have, because I'm Satan. I'm the devil. My daughter might have thought the police would come round again, giving me trouble. They haven't. The police have left me alone, probably because they're getting hit by God's mind bullets. God in heaven has psychic powers as well, of course he does. And he may well be hitting the police with mind bullets, psychic powers to, you know, kill them, basically. Because I've had a lot of trouble from the police over a long period of time, and it's just enough's enough now. Also, I think the aliens got bored of bothering me with the police. You know, it's tried to bully me with the police. It hasn't worked. And I just take the attitude with the police now. If you're going to come around my house and arrest me, fine. I'm not going to resist arrest. I'm not going to get in a fight with you. I'm not committing any crimes. I'm just living in my house a very quiet, peaceful life, avoiding getting in trouble. So really, it's police harassment. And I've been subject to police harassment for a long time. But obviously, the police are controlled by the aliens, you know, these grey aliens. With this, what I call the psychic whip. I can imagine a whip, but they have a psychic whip. They have psychic powers. So, like I say, this video's for my daughter. I have no idea if my daughter watches them or not, but if she does, it's just to keep her updated and in the loop of what's happening. Obviously, I've not been put in mental hospital because I'm speaking so much truth. I don't always get everything right, but I get the vast majority of it right. Something I needed to tell my daughter about. It's really important. As always, I say, keep your spirits up. The aliens will try and beat you down, make you feel upset with their psychic whip. That's all they can do to the warrior caste. All they can do to us, really. But you know, they can give you nightmares as well. You just got to realise they're just nightmares. Who gives a shit? But the other thing I need to tell my daughter about, I don't think they do this to my daughter, but something, these aliens, right, they cover up a lot of how society really is. And something that's been covered up big time by these aliens, it's going to sound ridiculous to my daughter, but something they've covered up is the Loch Ness monster. Now, in Scotland, my daughter might have heard of the Loch Ness monster. In Scotland, they've got a lot of lakes that are called lochs. So if you look at Scotland here, you can see all these little lakes. These blue parts are lakes. And they've got different names. Loch, there's one. Says Loch. I don't know if you can see it on the... Might not be able to see it. Oh yeah, you can. There it is. It says Loch Monar, right? Different ones. Loch Mulladoch, right? They're just lakes. They're actually lakes. They're supposed to be mostly freshwater lakes, but they're actually from the sea. The the seawater goes under the land in Scotland and forms these lakes. And they're only fresh water on top. They're freshwater lakes on top, but there'll be salt water underneath. They're connected to the sea. And in these lakes in Scotland and in Ireland as well, because Ireland's got them, they've got this creature in them. They've got this creature, the Loch Ness Monster. There's a picture of it there. I've googled Loch Ness Monster. Now, it's supposed to be that this monster isn't real. It's just fantasy monster. It's like it's not actually real. Thing is, though, it is real, and it's very dangerous to humans. If you go swimming in one of them lochs in Scotland or Ireland, you could be in a lot of trouble. You get killed by one of these monsters. A place where they've had quite a few deaths in Scotland is a place called Loch Lomond. There's been multiple people who've died in Loch Lomond. So what's it say? A man, woman and child have died in Loch Lomond, bringing to 6 the number of people who have been killed after getting into difficulty in the water in Scotland in 24 hours. So and some of these people are children. Some of these people are children that have died. So this will be shocking to my daughter, but in the media is controlled by the alien. The newspapers, the TV news channels, it's all controlled by the alien. And what the news will say is these people have gone swimming in the loch and died from cold water shock. So the water's so cold in these lakes in Scotland, these lochs, that it's given them a heart attack. So it's given and they've drowned. So it's given these children like Harris Ali, 9. So what I've googled there, Loch Lomond deaths 2021. He's died along with a family friends, Mohammed. All these people, he was 41. This little lad is only 9 years old. Saying all these people have died from heart attack, cold water shock. The water's so cold they had a heart attack. It's total nonsense. They died because the Loch Ness Monster has killed them. So this creature, this Loch Ness Monster, there it is, pictures of it, is totally real, and it is killing people. Now, just recently, there's this article here, I just looked in the news, Wednesday 17th of December 2025, human remains found in Loch Lomond. And it was this poor man here. Human remains discovered at a beauty spot in Loch Lomond. And there's the loch. Here's it on the map in Scotland. Just there, Scotland. This is Scotland. This creature's so dangerous, right? This Loch Ness Monster, its big neck, it's really quite a big animal. It's so dangerous that I think even if you're just a dog walker walking next to the loch, next to the water, if the water's deep enough next to where you're walking, potentially just reach its neck up, its big long neck like a giraffe's neck, and grab you and pull you into the water and kill you. There's a lot of deaths. I mean, that article there, if I just go back here, if I just put in Loch Lomond deaths, you get all these stories of people who have died just put Loch Lomond deaths. It seems to be a hot spot. Loch Lomond seems to be a hot spot where people are dying. But because these lochs are all interconnected, these lakes in Scotland are all interconnected, you're not really safe in any of them. I don't think so, because that Loch Ness monster's in them. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to explain to my daughter is, firstly, don't go swimming in a lake. I think even in England, you've got the Lake District in England. It's not safe to go swimming in a lake. The Lake districts in England might have similar creatures in them, similar dangerous big monsters. It's after the plesiosaurus. The animal they've come from is this. It's called the plesiosaurus. But it's covered up. It's covered up in the media because all these people around me, everyone in the world is controlled by this alien with his psychic whip. The alien covers it up. Now, why does the alien cover it up? To exert dominance, I suppose, over the human race. To say, you're so controlled by our psychic whip that we can get you to swim in these lakes or walk next to them and get attacked by this monster, and there's nothing you can do about it. Obviously, I won't go anywhere near them lakes now. Now I know this monster's real. There's too many deaths in these lochs to be explained away with cold water shock. That's the excuse they're saying. Oh, it's all from cold water shock. There's not all these people drowning in these lakes from cold water shock. It's obviously the Loch Ness monster that's killing them. So, something my daughter needs to be aware of. Don't go swimming in a lake. In England, in Ireland, in Scotland, or abroad. It's not safe because there's these monsters in there. The actual alien itself, the alien itself has evolved from a creature that's similar to a crayfish. We've evolved from ants. We're like a land-dwelling animal. But they've evolved from a creature that was originally in the ocean that's then learnt to walk on land. I think like crayfish. The greys have evolved, I think, from crayfish. Let's get a picture of a crayfish. So they've evolved from something like that. These little greys. See it with black eyes. But originally it was in the water, in the ocean, on their planet, and then learnt to walk on land. Whereas we just evolved from land-dwelling animals. Ants originally. Well, it was before that. I think it was something worms before that, and then it was ants, and then we've evolved into what we are now. But so it's sort of like the aliens saying, look, there's these creatures in the water that are dangerous. We're dangerous. We evolved from the water on our planet, and we can control you with this psychic whip, but they can't control me. And I don't think they can fully control my daughter. We control you with this psychic whip, and we're so mean and evil to you. We can get you to swim in these lochs in Scotland. And you know, you're a good chance you're going to get killed in there. So, like I say to my daughter, don't go swimming in a lake anywhere. Go swimming in a swimming pool, that's fine, but not in lakes, because they're not safe. You don't know which lakes have got this Loch Ness monster in. If you go to the Lake District, like I say, you could be in trouble. That's in England, but it's quite near Scotland, so you could get in trouble there. So the other thing I want to say to my daughter is, by me talking about this Loch Ness monster and trying to show you that it's real, but it's covered up, I'm trying to show you just how controlled the reptilians, humans, the worker caste, we're the warrior caste, they're the worker caste. I'm trying to show you just how controlled by the psychic powers they are when they know the Loch Ness monster's real. They know it's real, but they'll still go swimming in those lochs, those lakes. That's how controlled they are by the alien. So what I'm trying to say to my daughter is, there's no point asking humans, reptilians, your friends, your family, there's no point asking them questions about all of this, about my videos, about me being Satan. There's no point, because they won't give you straight answers, because they've been psychic whipped by the grey alien. Totally controlled. So controlled that they'll swim in a lake where they know there's potentially a very dangerous monster in there. The actual real name, what I think this monster, Loch Ness monster's evolved from, is Plesiosaurus. There's the word. There's actually a picture there of one next to a man. So there's a man there. It's like just a diagram cartoon picture. If that's a Plesiosaurus, that's a baby one. They're much bigger than that. Much bigger. The adult ones. That's just a baby one. So, you know, I wouldn't even get close to a lake now. Say if I was in the Lake District in England, that's where there's a load of lakes, so that's why it's called the Lake District. I wouldn't even stand close to the edge of the water. I'd stand quite a way back and view the lake, because it is very scenic. It's very nice there in the Lake District. I'd view it from a distance. That's how dangerous I think these creatures are. Like I say, if you're a dog walker walking next to the lake, it'll take you. Potentially. They're that big. And they've been covered up by this alien. The alien, like, it's just, again, like I say, to exert dominance. It's to say, look how we rule over you with our psychic whip, and we make you get killed by these lake water-dwelling monsters. And then we control you so much that we cover it up in the media, in the news. So like I say, that's how controlled they are, Holly. So I'm talking to my daughter. There's no point going round asking lots of questions to them, because they're not going to be able to give you the answers. What's got to happen eventually is I've got to, like I say, make loads of money in crude oil when we have this great reset, and then rise to power, because I'll be really rich, and try to figure out the technology to get to this planet of these aliens, and get control of them. That's what's got to happen. Sounds crazy, I know, but it's just the truth. That's why I haven't been put in a mental hospital. You know, like I said, I would have been sectioned by now. It's not because everyone's scared of me, because they put Frank Bruno in a mental hospital. And he was an ex-world champion heavyweight boxer. So it's difficult for my daughter, because obviously she wants to ask her friends questions about all these videos. If she is watching them, I don't fully know if she is. I mean, in a way, it'd almost be better that she's not, but no, it is good she's watching them, because like I said, you need to keep your spirits up. The alien might try to make you feel miserable and give you nightmares. So it is, if she is watching them, it is better that she is. But You can't go around. There's no point going around asking too many questions, because you're just not going to get anywhere. I mean, you could come to here when you come here in the future, you'll be able to ask me questions. We'll be able to talk about it, but you can't really talk about it with regular humans, worker caste humans. So it's something to be aware of, because you'll get very frustrated with their answers. There's just no point in you getting frustrated. Like I said, as a little kid, all you need to do is try to stay happy and cheerful. That's all you can do at the moment. It's up to me to sort all this out, this situation. Right, this part of the video is for anyone that keeps animals. Anyone that keeps animals, whatever animal that might be, whether it's a dog, you keep sheep, you keep cows, you keep a pet rabbit, whatever it might be. Your animal, that animal that you hopefully want to look after and not treat badly, needs salt in its diet. So say if you've got a pet rabbit, you need to give that pet rabbit a salt lick. It's got a little salt lick for it to lick to get salt into its body, because without salt, life doesn't exist. You need salt in your bloodstream to conduct electrical signals around your body. You need salt inside of you. Otherwise, you don't work as a human being. Neither does your pet rabbit or your pet dog or your pet sheep, pet cows. So if you're looking after animals, that's something to be aware of. So you need salt in your diet. Very, very important. Without it, life can't exist. Something that you might not be aware of. People think of salt. If you have too much in your diet, it's bad for you. It can give you high blood pressure, etc., etc. Yeah, too much is bad for you, but too little is really bad for you as well. So for your animals, salt lick's usually a good thing to give them. So if they do need extra salt that they're not getting in their food, the salt lick's there to just keep them healthy, basically. Right, so I wanted to put that message out there. Last thing I wanted to talk about, I think I mentioned it in my last video. I briefly mentioned it. In space, the universe is huge, obviously. So there's loads of aliens in space, many of whom are intelligent. And some of them will be dangerous to humanity. Obviously, we're a slave species at the minute, controlled by these greys, grey aliens. But there'll be other aliens, and they'll be flying around space and have an alien empire. They'll have other planets. The moment we're just small time. Humanity and the greys, we haven't got an alien empire really, because they've got one planet and we've got one planet, and we haven't achieved anything in the stars particularly. The greys have flown around space a bit, but they haven't conquered any new planets. They haven't achieved anything really. I'm hoping to put a change to that, because I'm the warrior caste. I'm supposed to be multiplied to make more of me, have sons, more sons and daughters. Then we've got soldiers that are resistant to psychic powers, and then we can potentially get new Earths. I've talked about, though, briefly, this alien empire that I think has been coming into our area of space or getting near to us. And this alien empire, I think, has evolved from toads. So we're evolved from ants. The greys are evolved from crayfish. I think this alien empire that's encroaching towards us gradually might be evolved from toads, but I'm not fully sure. And we need to work with the greys to push back that alien empire, with automated nuclear missiles. We need to like, send these missiles out towards them. They're automated, that attack them. Like a drone, automated drone missile. It's powered by anti-gravity and free energy. It's the only way I think we're going to be able to repel them, push them back away from us. Because if they come into our area of space, they'll crush humanity, probably, destroy us, and they'll most likely destroy the Greys as well. Although they might steal some of their tech. So the Greys aren't properly working with us at the minute, I think. One, because they like keeping their options open, because the Greys might try to work with the Toad Empire, the Toad alien empire that's coming, encroaching towards us gradually. Hopefully still a fair way off. We're lucky we're on the edge of the Milky Way. Where we are in our galaxy is on the edge of the Milky Way, so we're in a backwater of space. So it sort of keeps us a bit isolated from everyone. But eventually, you know, if we want to succeed as a species, we've got to go out there and start kicking ass. But first thing we need to do is push this alien empire back. It's an absolute nightmare at the minute. I mean, these Greys are twats. They're total idiots because the only way they have a future is through working with humanity and working with me. They've got no future as Toad Empire. There's no other future for them. So they have to work with me. But obviously I'm going to give them a lot of punishment for how badly they've treated humanity. I mean, you think how terrible it is that they force, with their psychic whip, people, innocent reptilians, innocent humans, to go swimming in these lakes in Scotland. They must be terrified because they're going into these lakes. There's monsters in there. You know, it's terrible that they do that. That's just one example of atrocities. One of many, many atrocities these Greys have committed against humanity, just out of nastiness, trying to show how dominant they are over us. It's terrible. So yeah, there's a Toad Empire out there. There's a Toad Empire. Potentially, they're evolved from toads. I might be wrong. But there'll be definitely alien empires out there. The universe is so big. And we'll have to conquer them to become boss of the universe eventually. The universe is huge. I mean, this galaxy is massive. I don't know how many stars there are in this galaxy, but it's at least 100 million, I think, stars just in this one galaxy. Billions of galaxies. So it's a big universe, and you know, the only way we're going to do well is by becoming a badass, warmongering species that loves war. But you can't really do that with the worker drones so fully because they haven't got psychic resistance. As soon as you meet an enemy, an alien empire, it's got psychic powers, then we're going to come unstuck. That's why I've got to make a lot of soldiers, Roman legions to go out and conquer these species. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.